Have you ever wished life's most important things came with a user's guide? Well, today we're diving into one. We're taking a guided tour of a brand new human being. Forget the manuals for your phone or TV. This is the one that's truly incredible. So, what secrets are hiding in plain sight in those first few days? Let's get into it.
You know, when you look at a sleeping newborn, they just seem so peaceful, so simple. But right under the surface, there is this whirlwind of amazing development and perfectly tuned survival instincts just firing on all cylinders. So what is really going on in there?
Okay, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the basics. What even is a newborn? Then we'll check out their amazing exterior, take a peek at all the internal systems that are just firing up, decode their incredible built-in reflexes, and wrap up by looking at the super fast changes they go through.
All right, first things first. What do we actually mean when we say newborn? Let's break it down. For this explainer, we're going to be focusing on what doctors call a mature or full-term baby.
So, newborns actually get classified by their gestational age. As you can see here, if a baby arrives before 37 weeks, they're considered premature. That sweet spot for what we call a mature newborn is right there between 38 and 41 weeks. And for the little ones who like to make us wait, well, after 42 weeks, they're called post-term.
So how big are we talking? On average, a full-term baby weighs somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500 grams. For those of us not on the metric system, that's about 6.5 to 7.5 pounds.
And for their length, they're usually between 48 and 52 centimeters, which is roughly 19 to 20.5 inches long. And believe me, these are just the starting stats for an absolutely incredible journey of growth.
Okay, now that we've got the basics down, let's talk about the outside of a newborn. It's an incredible piece of engineering, perfectly designed for the tough journey of birth and all the rapid growth that's about to happen. Let's start right at the top, with the skull. It's actually not one solid piece of bone like ours. The bones are separate, connected by these flexible tissues and soft spots called fontanelles. Seriously, think of them like tectonic plates that can shift and even overlap. It's this brilliant design that lets the head mold and fit through the birth canal. And, this is the really cool part, it gives the brain all the room it needs to grow like crazy in that first year. You might also notice a newborn is covered in this kind of thick, white, waxy stuff. It looks a bit like cream cheese, honestly. It's called vernix caseosa, and it is amazing. It acted as a waterproof coating in the womb, and now it's a totally natural moisturizer and protector for their super delicate skin.
But wait, there's more. A newborn's skin has a few other surprises. It's totally normal for it to be a bit reddish, to peel a little in the first few days, and even be covered in this super fine, silky hair. They also come with a surprisingly good layer of fat to keep them warm, and, get this, often really long fingernails right from the start.
All right, we've covered the outside. Now, let's pop the hood and take a look at the internal systems that are just getting fired up for life out here in the world. The digestive system is a perfect example of this startup process. First off, a newborn stomach is tiny, holding only about 30 to 50 milliliters. On top of that, the little muscle at the top of the stomach that keeps food down is still kind of weak. And that combo right there, that's exactly why they need to eat small amounts so often and why spit up is just part of the deal. Oh, and their gut is totally sterile at birth, but it gets populated with good bacteria really fast. So what about their immune system? Well, it's still a work in progress, but it gets a huge head start. A baby gets a really powerful antibody called IgG straight from mom through the placenta, and then they get another boost from her first milk called colostrum. It's like this incredible foundational gift of protection for their first few months. Next up is one of my absolute favorite topics, the baby's built-in software. We're talking about these innate, primitive reflexes that are just crucial for survival and give us this amazing window into their developing nervous system.
Yeah, these aren't things the baby is deciding to do. They're automatic, involuntary responses that are just hardwired in. Doctors and nurses check these reflexes because having them at birth and then watching them disappear over the next few months are key signs that the brain and nervous system are developing just the way they should.
Okay, first up is the Moro reflex, also known as the startle reflex. If a baby gets surprised by a loud noise or a sudden movement, like that feeling of falling, they will instinctively react with this really dramatic, full-body response. And this description here just paints the perfect picture. The baby will literally throw their arms out to the side, palms up, and then pull them back in towards their body. It's like their first built-in alarm system, and it is something to see.
Here's another really fascinating one, the Babinski reflex. You can trigger this one by firmly stroking the sole of their foot, going from the heel up towards the little toes. The reaction you get is super specific, and it tells us a ton about their neurological function.
Exactly. Their big toe bends back toward the top of their foot, and all the other little toes just fan out. And what's wild is that this is the complete opposite of what happens in an adult. So when you see this in a baby, it's a perfect sign of a healthy, developing nervous system.
And for our final stop on this tour, we're going to look at some of the major changes a newborn's body goes through. I mean, those first 2 weeks are a period of just incredible adjustment. Let's start with their weight, because this is something that can really stress new parents out. It is perfectly normal for a newborn to lose up to 10% of their birth weight in the first few days. It's mostly just excess fluid. But then, around day 4 or 5, they start to gain it back, and they're usually right back at their birth weight by about 2 weeks old.
Okay, another super common thing is jaundice. The easiest way to think about it is that the baby's liver is just getting up to speed. It's like its official startup sequence. It's not quite efficient yet at breaking down a substance called bilirubin. So when that bilirubin builds up a little, it causes that yellowish tint in the skin and eyes. It usually shows up around day 2 or 3 and just resolves on its own within a couple of weeks.
And lastly, don't be surprised by some of the leftover effects from mom's hormones. For a little while after birth, these hormones can cause things like temporary breast swelling in both boys and girls, and even a little bit of vaginal discharge or puffy labia in girls. Sounds strange, I know, but it's all completely normal and temporary. So, from their tectonic plate skull to their automatic startle reflex, a newborn is just this masterpiece of design. They are perfectly equipped for survival and just programmed for rapid change. It's an absolutely remarkable beginning, right? And it really makes you wonder, what incredible developmental milestones are just around the corner?